When your doctor prescribes you pain medication, do you take it as prescribed or all at once? If you answered all at once, you are well suited for the highs of modern monetary theory, but will also suffer the disastrous and sometimes fatal consequences. Right now, we are currently living within the mania and excitement of the Roaring '20s. However, this party will have to end at some point. My name is Gavin Holmes, and as an avid follower and reader of global economics and geopolitics, I am deeply worried about this newly embraced economic theory, which supports the printing of money and offsetting the balance between unemployment and inflation. Modern monetary theory is an unsustainable economic policy, and we cannot gamble with our currency like we currently are. In my first point, I will briefly explain modern monetary theory and why it has become so popular in today's society. Secondly, I will discuss the delicacy of our situation and the tools we have to fight against it. In my third and final point, I will argue why modern monetary theory has allowed us to put ourselves in a very difficult situation, and why modern monetary theory is a very treacherous game to play with our economy and our currency. Modern monetary theory and inflation have a very toxic relationship, and we are currently in the throes of their lovers' quarrel. When the COVID-19 pandemic hit in March of 2020, world governments scrambled and economies were almost fully shut down, leaving many without any income and no foreseeable opportunities to provide for their families. To meet the needs of the people, the Federal Reserve, or the Fed, began printing money, greatly increasing the money supply, as you can see on the graphic displayed on the screen. Even now in February of this year, Chair of the Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, disclosed that the Fed is not even thinking about shrinking the balance sheet, even after having printed around 21% of the current money supply since February of 2020. This example shows the US taking a few extra pills than required. The idea that world governments can print as much as they like and can offset this balance at a later date is called modern monetary theory, and it is like playing with fire. Patrick Horan of the Mercatus Center states that modern monetary theory is fundamentally flawed because it goes off the model that inflation and unemployment have trade-offs, otherwise known as the Phillips curve. However, this model was proven wrong when simultaneously high inflation and high unemployment in the 1970s rocked the American economy. These two sources showcase the dangers of modern monetary theory and how it is currently being implemented recklessly into our economy. When it comes to battling this beast named inflation, the Fed has a few useful but not all-powerful tools. Leslie Kramer of Investopedia states that the Fed can use wage and price controls and rate raises to alleviate inflation. However, all three of these could spark unemployment and another recession, which would hurt the citizens of this country even more than the pandemic of 2020 already has. Think of mitigating inflation like a surgery. These tools are the scalpel, and if not wielded delicately and precisely, you could end up hurting the patient even more. Another tool that the Fed can use is devaluation. However, it has immediate and long-term effects upon use. The Federal Reserve Bank of New York warns that the devaluation of a country's currency could dampen investor confidence in the country's economy and hurt the country in the long term, further slowing the economic recovery. With both of these sources, we can conclude that inflation is not an easy thing to undo, and if not done carefully, could end up sparking another recession. While we do have the weapons to tame this beast, we cannot keep living a life where we have to fight inflation every time we are met with economic uncertainty. Modern monetary theory is a very appealing and beneficial idea in the moment. However, it is not a sustainable economic policy because it gambles with our currency, one of society's most vital assets. According to Jonathan Hartley of the National Affairs Journal, many economists believe that modern governments seem to be laboring under false pretenses and harmful assumptions regarding the threat of public debt, and fear the worst when it comes to the repercussions. Currently, many politicians are pushing for more of these hefty payments, which will serve to alleviate the stress of the current recession, but will make this problem much more severe down the line. We are in a delicate limbo state, and if we ease up the printing, according to William Meehan, we might see significant deflation like Japan in the 1990s, and still we might see rapidly increasing inflation. We are teetering on the edge of severe danger to our future growth, and we must be very delicate and deliberate in our actions moving forward. As individuals, we must be vigilant towards this and toward what is to come, and how we can best prepare ourselves for the worst outcome if push comes to shove. In conclusion, modern monetary theory is a lot like pain medication. Small, prescribed doses can help ease the pain of a certain situation, but just a little too much can be fatal. Just like how an inflated currency can be the killer of a country's financial standing. Modern monetary theory is one of the most dangerous games to be playing with our currency, and we are now playing this game on a level unlike anything we've ever seen before. Given the research and sources mentioned, this newly embraced economic theory will have many repercussions down the road, and fighting these repercussions could spark another crisis within the American economy. As I have mentioned above, we are risking the future growth of our economy, but at the same time, we also risk our future prosperity as Americans as well. Just like the pain medication, be careful how much you take at once. It could hurt you much more down the road. Thank you.